Okay, we're good.
All right. Are we showing noon? Pretty close. We could probably start a minute early, but I'll just wait for the clock to say 12. Okay, there it is. All right, good noon, everybody. Welcome to the Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 Board of Commissioners regular meeting for May 12th, 2025. First order, I will call the meeting to order and we will do roll call. My name is Steve Cooley. I'm a commissioner.
Tim Johnson, Commissioner.
Mark Land, Commissioner.
Jason Vanderveen, Fire Chief.
All right. Moving on to public comment. Chief, do we have anybody waiting?
No, sir.
All right, then I will open and close the public comment period. Moving right along to the next item on our agenda, which is approval of the consent agenda. All matters within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Board of Commissioners for review, are considered routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the board with no separate discussion. If a separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request. And that agenda includes our mini meeting minutes from our April 14th meeting, staff reports from the chief and his staff, including financial reports, our voucher payroll and benefits, which include a direct deposit payroll of $483 and a monthly expenditure voucher of $2,642.90, which I believe all went to the state auditor, for a total of $3,125.90. And we had a good tax month, apparently, because we got revenues of $1,521,189.21. And that concludes the list that is on our consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I would move to approve the consent agenda.
Commissioner Land moves.
Second that motion.
Commissioner Johnson seconds. Thank you. Any discussion about the consent agenda? Seeing no requests for discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. The consent agenda is approved. Moving to the next spot on our agenda, unfinished business. We'll start out with the Britton Road Northern Heights annexation. Hopefully you all saw in the packet the chief drafted and the attorney helped with a letter we sent to the city requesting a meeting to go over that 1997 agreement. Chief, do you have anything to let the other commissioners know about?
No, that letter's been sent. I'll reach out midweek this week and see if we can get something on the calendar for an initial meeting with the city. I did inform the fire chief that letter was being sent, so he knew. Also, there's still the annexation, the completion of the annexation is still not on the agenda to be seen by city council. So, and the fire chief reached out to the planning director, but didn't get, I have not heard of an update. So no real idea what they're doing or not doing with the annexation.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions about that agenda item? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to the next two items, actually. Tender purchase and the fire engine purchase. The chief has asked that we continue to table these items because he is very busy working on the last item on our unfinished business, which is the exterior project. I'm okay with that. Does anybody have any questions about those two items on the agenda? Chief, you and I were chatting really briefly before the call here that right now there aren't any of those tenders available anyway. Is that
right? There's no demo tenders available anyway. And frankly, I'd like to get through the completion of the siding project. And while we have a bid, I still want to make sure that money is flush and that we're doing our financial due diligence. So I'd like to get at least partway through this siding project before we move forward on any moving large purchase type, thing. And then, are you okay if I just, oh, sorry.
Yeah, roll right on into that project then, if you would, sure.
I I just had a question on I recall in the fire engine purchase, you had a committee that was helping to spec out the engine.
We do.
Is that work still ongoing, or is that something we'll still need to do before we actually go out to look for a bid on that?
It is, and they got a price back from Pierce, the manufacturer that we're looking to go through, of just over basically $1,003,000. So that's it's an astronomically high number, but it's less than what the average right now in the industry is $1.3 million. So they were able to shave off a significant amount by making it more of a toolbox on wheels than any kind of parade rig or anything like that. We're looking for functional, not fashion. So we did get a price back, and that I we'll work on that after. Yeah, I want to get this exterior project underway and make sure that there's no damage to the station itself, the structure of the station, before we move forward on any kind of large purchase like that. Since that's something we can move the timeline on the rigs. If there's damage to the station, we're going to have to get that fixed right away, and that may cause an increased cost.
So you're saying essentially we're ready to go and move forward whenever we feel like it's an appropriate time.
Correct.
Okay. Great. Any other questions about those other items, gentlemen? Okay, Chief, go ahead with the last one, exterior project, if you would.
So for the exterior project, we're caught like everybody else. We are waiting for approval of permits from the county. Apparently, for a project this size, we needed permits. I was not aware of that, and so I asked for an update, and we're waiting for the county. So all the subs are lined up and ready to go. It's just when do we get it? When do we hit a start date?
And is the county giving us any idea of how long that might be?
He didn't have any idea. He can't imagine it's going to take very long, but he's got enough experience. He didn't want to say, this is my guess. So
Right. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully they'll get back to us soon.
yes, I know he went down there. He went down there late last week to the county itself to check on the progress of the permit. So
Oh, great. Okay. So he's very on top of it, it sounds like.
Yep.
Okay.
And had we talked about some sort of, neighborhood awareness, community awareness thing where we were going to either put up the sandwich board or something on the social media websites about, thank you for your support. This is a reflection of, continuing to invest in our safety, yada, yada, yada kind of a thing. That's still something we're going to do.
yes, we will do something on social media. We have both the neighborhood right around there has a homeowners association Facebook page. So, and we know somebody that's tapped into that. So we'll be able to post and what do you call it? Tag that group. But
Right.
then we'll just do a general post as well as put up signboards that there's construction. And also I made it really apparent that we have a real clear that we have working hours. So they're not going to start at 6 a.m. every day, right? They have the neighborhood's got quiet hours, and we're going to abide by those.
How about even I don't know if this is overkill, but just throwing it out there. How about even a press release?
Yeah,
Not that anybody would actually pick it up, but you or Steve, point of contact, and press release. Again, it may or may not be picked up, but I guess maybe better safe than sorry.
KGMI is always good about broadcasting those. Bellingham Herald's probably not going to pick it up, but yeah, we can certainly do a press release.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Do you want to work on, you got capacity to work on that, Chief, or do you
Oh
need-
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, great idea, Mark.
Well, and usually they want points of contact. So I mean, I'd volunteer either the chief or Steve, you know, to,
No,
to,
we'll have them
Yeah.
contact us here at the office if there's any. That's
okay.
the best way
Yeah.
to do it. So,
That's probably a good idea. You've got more up-to-date info every day, so.
yep.
I don't know, Steve, I want to see you in the news.
Well, maybe they'll pick it up. Who knows? There's Cascadia Daily News too. Hopefully they might run
That's true. Yeah, they may pick it up.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on the project there? We're just set and ready to go at the starting line.
Yep.
Okay. All right, any other questions or comments, gentlemen? Okay, that concludes our unfinished business. Do we have any new business? We do not have any on the agenda, but anything anybody wants to bring up? I cannot think of anything that should be new business. All right, moving on. The correspondence we already discussed was that letter to Mayor Lund of the city. And that brings us very quickly to the closing parts of our meeting, which is our next one is on June 16th. I think I will be available. Anybody see a problem with that? Actually, I should look, but I believe it.
Looks good.
Yes, for me also. So, okay, any agenda items for the next meeting that are not on this agenda that we will carry over?
I'm sorry, I was muted when we were talking about the next meeting. Sorry about that, Steve. I
Okay.
see that that I think is the graduation weekend, so I'll be down in Palo Alto. I'm not sure if the 16th is going to be a travel day for me coming back home.
Okay.
It'll be hit and miss. I wouldn't want you to reschedule it, but I'll try.
Sounds good. All right, that takes care of our meeting. Please remember to go down and sign the documents at the fire station at your earliest convenience. And unless there's nothing else for the good of the order, I will declare the meeting adjourned.
Yeah, thank you. So, Chief, what do I do? I can't sign today.
No, we'll have two commissioners be able to sign, so that's adequate for the meeting. And then
Okay.
we'll have your time card for you to sign when you get back.
Got it.
So
Enjoy the
Commissioner
rest of
Cooley,
your
Commissioner
vacation.
Johnson, if you could just shoot me a text once you've signed, the sooner the better. I too am headed out of town this week for a college graduation, so need to grab those things. If I could get them no later than tomorrow, that would be wonderful.
Will
I'll
do.
get into it this afternoon. And I'll text you when I'm done.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, likewise.
Okay.
All right, everybody have a good month. Aloha, Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Enjoy your trip,
mahalo.
Mark.
All right, take care.
All right.